To start off, I'd like to point out that my opponent never actually stated the resolution in his speech, so I'm just going to assume that we're both debating about the same thing. Anyway, moving on. Okay, who would willingly donate their body and their life for testing? I'm not talking about blood testing. I'm talking about the testing that requires the use of anesthetics and the types of testing we are doing on non-human animals right now that include spine crushing and skin burning. And also, who would be willing to be the ones actually performing these tests on these patients when the scientists know that it could lead to their death, and nobody wants to be the reason for a death, especially not a human death. And testing that requires anesthetics on a human also requires a lot of money that needs to be spent on keeping them, or constantly checking up on them and making sure that they're paying the right amount because of what they're doing. And all these anesthetics and all these different types of things will cost a lot more than what they would cost for animal testing or non-human animal testing. And also, how could a scientist ensure that a patient wouldn't wimp out in the middle or last minute, or refuse to move on to the next procedure or protocol of a test? These are all the types of things that go with consents. When signing up for a website like iTunes or Facebook, etc., have you ever actually read the terms and agreements? And do you really think that people are suddenly going to start reading these things, even if they're basically signing a death contract? People will give consents even if they don't know what comes with this, because people are desperate. The type of people I think who would agree to testing on would be poor ones, people who need money, and they'll do anything to get the money that they need. And people who are desperate, people who are living on the streets and they just really need something to get them back to where they can be living comfortably. And these tests might not ensure their life, but they can ensure that they'll have enough money to live, which also would be a lot of money. So, people will give consents without reading what they're giving a consent to because they're so desperate and they don't even want to know what's going to happen to them, especially if they would make them want to not do it anymore. And also, I don't think that, they wouldn't want to know what's about to happen to them. Therefore, these consents you've been talking so much about are suddenly not as useful as they may seem. And all of this could easily be avoided by banning all animal testing. And that is why you should vote Prop in this round. Thank you.